U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brings up second and
the numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 58 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down. His career rushing numbers just continue to rise with that last carry. He surpasses 12,280 yards and also surpasses Marshall Faulk. Got an open man finding Jefferson. Room here to run. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of...
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you that some other time.
Back to football. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Bilal Nichols able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On the ground, it's Cook. Now Cook hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. Cook following the penalty. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Keenan Allen with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. With the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 30 yards there.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked, and there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been accepted.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Juszczyk with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
The kicker on.
Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. That's the important thing. They currently have the best record among the wild card contenders, but they want to make sure they finish this season strong.
And isn't that the case each and every year about one division that ends up being the top-loaded division? And unfortunately this year, it's theirs. But you could spin it and say, hey, they've been tested, and they've beaten a lot of good teams already. They will be prepared for the playoffs.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. He's going to let this one go deep. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Open man is Ross, complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 4 yards to pick up, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, going for Jefferson. That's caught at the 25. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that, that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
2nd and 10.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver, and it's third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. Touchdown, Chicago!
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Going deep here for Allen. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Keenan Allen, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. They'll look to throw now on first down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. They'll look to throw here on first down. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Back to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
Chris Boswell set.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
The Vikings send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
1st down, Bears.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
1st down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there for the sack. And he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And the pressure gets to him again.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more than he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, They all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
First and 10.
And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
Watch that leverage on this drive. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
A very solid gain of 27. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook. Touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
And his kick is good. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
The second down pass intercepted. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's now 2nd and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On the 5-yard line.
They'll run with Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Chicago. John Ross, 76 yards. And the Bears are able to make things a bit more respectable.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed, but there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell you, let's go for the perfect 16.
I think the fan base, they would usually say that as well, wouldn't they?
They certainly would. The hard part, though, is if you get beat along the way, we should have rested the guys.
Exactly.
You know how it works.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. Lead the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guy.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now Stafford will come up, try to get his guys a two-point conversion. Cook, they'll try and run it. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bull his way in there for the 2 points.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
3rd down and 10.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Vikings. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And the offense moving quickly to the line. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On the carry, it's Cook. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
At the 29-yard line.
On 1st down, Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further.
16, Bears 14.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position.
36-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.